My name is Chelsea. I grew up Catholic, so I started going to Catholic school like from a very young age. It was kind of always something that when I was younger, I kind of hate to say it this way, but I feel like it was something that I felt like I had to do. I didn't necessarily understand like why I was going to church or why do we have to go here every Sunday. Kind of got away from it through like my college years and then into adulthood. And then I started my career as a law enforcement officer. You see a lot of things on that job, and I like to, I guess, just call it like cumulative trauma. You see a lot of things. You see people on their worst days, like maybe the worst day of their life or something very traumatic happening to them. So you see a lot of things. You see the horrible things that humans can do to each other, and then you have that question of why would God allow this? And so I really started to also kind of get even more jaded. Just I was away from it, and then I was more jaded on top of it. So I kind of lived my life like that for a very long time, where I'm like, yeah, I'm a believer, but I was a very casual believer. I was very like out of touch with like the things that I should be doing as a Christian. So I lived like that for a while. And then I would say like this last year, kind of things start adding up, and the stresses in life and the trauma that I've gone through made me really question like, okay, like I'm not feeling like happy or fulfilled in my life. All these horrible things are happening, like what can I do? So I sought out a couple different forms of like therapy, and then I was like, I think I just still have like a God-shaped hole in my heart. And so that's like the time when I started to just wonder on my own, like maybe I should get back to this, maybe I should like open my Bible, maybe I should start to like dip my toe back in and see if this is something that I should pursue. During like that same time, I started in a new unit. I was not on patrol anymore in law enforcement. I went to a detective position, and I met a coworker who kind of saw like that same spark in me of like I was just curious about God and like wanting to get back to it, because I like knew about it from my childhood, but I didn't know him as I do now. And so she was like gently nudging me for a while, and then she finally suggested Christianity Explored. And the way that it was presented to me was, if you have a lot of questions about God, if you are not even new to the faith, but you just want to learn more, if you have no idea who God is, this would be a good option for you. I didn't know what to expect at first. I kind of just came to it like with an open heart. I brought my dad. So I knew he had a lot of questions. I knew I had a lot of questions. It wasn't ever a case of me not believing in God, but it was something that I had not prioritized for like a very long time in my life. And then it was nice to know that I wasn't alone with like the questions that I was wrestling with myself, and things that were confusing to me as I started reading my Bible again. And then really it just kind of stripped away everything that I was like worried about. Like, am I praising Jesus the right way? Am I following him the right way? When I came and like had some of my questions answered, like really it just gets back to, what does the Bible tell you? And that's, you can only get to heaven through your faith in Jesus and through Christ alone, and like believing and turning to him and repenting. So it maybe sounds a little cliche, but I feel like Jesus and God and this whole process through the class has like softened my heart a little bit and like allowed me to like be receptive to that. Whereas before I was just like, I can do this on my own. Like I don't really need God. Does God really care about me? Like those questions, like now I'm like, no, I need him. And I think now through going through the Christianity Explored class and going to church every day or every Sunday, you just realize what a true gift the grace from God is, and like how much you truly don't deserve the grace, but then he still gives it to you and he still loves you anyway. And he's like realizing that I'm here because he like reached out to the lamb that got away and like pulled me back in. It's overwhelming to think about, so. Since then, it's just kind of exponentially like taken off in my life. And so I had that hunger to like learn more and just better my relationship day to day with him. And then I just think my perspective on things in life has changed. I think the way that I do my job has changed. I just see things through a different lens of, a macro perspective instead of like a micro perspective, and then just understand that like it's all part of his plan. It's really not up to me. I'm just a part of the plan. So the surrendering is very freeing and relieving, and knowing that he can take that burden.